What's up, everybody? It's me, Imani D, coming back at it again with another YouTube video. As you can see, my setup is a little different, guys. I'm sitting on the floor in my room. I'm actually had to disinfect my makeup powders because I did have clients this weekend, and so I had to like spray my powders down, and I need to wash my brushes. It's just so much I need to do. So while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and just get this review out the way before Monday gets here because I want to get this video out and about. So anyways, let's talk about for Married at First Sight, of course, season 12, episode 8. Let's just recap on the video. Basically, this was the episode where the couples, of course, moved in together, and they were doing a housewarming party, like kind of like taco themes, you know how that works. So I don't know, this episode was quite drawn out. It was a tad bit boring, just a little bit. Like, I mean, I watched it, but it kind of was like I was watching, but it was kind of like, okay, like, what are y'all doing? Like, why can't y'all just get through it? And I get it, you're trying to stretch it out for that hour, and then with Paige and Chris not really being on the show like that anymore, they had to kind of make up for their time. But it's kind of like, I don't know, this episode was kind of like a little slow and boring. But nevertheless, though, we're gonna get into the first couple, which I'm gonna just start out with Virginia and Eric. Virginia, of course, was, she was talking to Eric about her guy friends that were coming over. So all of her friends were literally guys that came over, and Eric's friends, they were guys. So, of course, they were talking and having a good time or whatnot. And Eric, I could tell Eric and Virginia are really feeling each other. But like I tell y'all, it concerns me because Virginia does not know how to be a wife. She's acting like a little party girl from a frat house, well, sorority house. So basically, Eric was just chilling or whatever, and then one of Virginia's friends came and pulled him outside and was just talking to him, about Virginia, saying like she's a very strong girl, she's a fighter, she looks out for herself, so you can't, try to control her. It was a little, I side-eyed him because I felt like, who the F are you to sit here and be coming to her husband telling him that he needs to back off and don't smother her? Like, it made me think, well, do you have a thing for Virginia? Did you mess around with her? Like, that would be a red flag for me if I was Eric, because I felt like that wasn't your place to do that. I get you guys are friends, but the way you came off, you're basically proving Eric right in his point. And I just didn't agree with any of that. I felt away personally, but if that was me, of course, but it just really further shows that Virginia is not ready to be married. And poor Eric, it's just, he got the short end of the stick, just like Paige. And I say that because he wants this so bad and he wants it to work. He's trying to compromise and work his way, like, figure out ways to accommodate her, and she's just not bending at all. So not really gonna speak too much on those two because you guys seen it. So anyways, and plus, like I said, the episode was a little kind of boring to me, so it wasn't really nothing exciting going on until Chris and Paige's part, which is the worst thing that could excite any of us. But so at the end of the day, keeping Eric and Virginia for decision day, a solid no, with a question mark, but I'm just gonna say no, because even if they were to stay married after the show, I got a feeling they would end up separating, like Katie and Derek from season 10 of Married at First Sight. Okay, next couple, Haley and Jacob. It's hard to tell with Haley. You guys know how I feel. I feel like Jacob is true to himself. Haley is being, fake with the whole situation. I think Jacob is still trying, and I feel like Haley is giving off the impression that she's trying a little bit more, but it's hard to tell if she's sincerely doing this in front of the cameras or is she just putting on. So when Haley's friends and Jacob's friends came over, they were conversing and all that. And, Haley was expressing her concerns about how Jacob was accusing her of having somebody that he dated or whatnot. And so she kind of was just telling them. And then she basically was trying to say she didn't lie to Jacob and say that she didn't want him to feel, she didn't want him, okay. She was basically saying that Jacob came down from the hotel and seen them with the guys, but it really was a girls' night. I don't know if I believe that, but whatever Haley says, I guess that's what she wants it to be. But her friends did come out and tell Jacob that Haley, the whole time, as long as they've known her, they've never seen her be in a relationship or take anything serious with anybody. And they've known her since college. Like, she's the type, she'll meet a guy, she'll, like, go on a couple dates with him, and then she'll just ghost him. So it sounds like to me, Haley has a little bit of commitment issues. And also she has these standards that could potentially be impossible, because it sounds like, and I could be wrong, but that's what it comes off as. I think she has this ideal guy, this ideal person that she wants to be with, and her perfect relationship. And a lot of us women at a certain time in our lives, we do go through that phase of looking for that perfect image in our head. And we're not thinking that it's perfect, but in reality, it technically is the perfect person. So, you gotta take what you can get. And I'm not saying settle. That's not what I'm saying. But it's kind of like, Haley, come on now. You're not going to find the perfect guy. Like, you're just not. Like, you're going to have, just like you're not perfect yourself, because I feel like you lack in communication. And here it is. I feel like Jacob communicates very well. He expresses to you how he feels. He's trying to fill you out and kind of be respectful and go about things a certain way. But you're not giving him enough to work with, which is frustrating for anybody. It would be frustrating for you if the shoe was on the other foot. So, but her friends were basically telling Jacob, like, if she gets close to somebody or she starts liking somebody, then she shuts down and she'll back off. And so Jacob was like, well, I've experienced that already. And her friends were like, yeah, she does it. Just try to be patient with her. Who the hell has time for that? I'm sorry. I feel like it's a bunch of bullshit, because regardless if you don't want to get close to someone, if you're attracted to someone and you want to work things out or be with somebody, you're going to make that shit work. Like, at the end of the day, you committed to a process. You don't know what you're going to get when you sign those papers and you come on this show. And that's just that, Haley. You can't get past, I don't even know so much of looks. I think it is the strangeness. But I would try to see if there's anything else outside of his strangeness. Like I told you guys before, like 2 videos ago. And if you can't get past it, let him know, because he's fully aware of what the situation is. He knows you guys are 2 different people with 2 different mindsets. And that's just that. Like, I don't understand what the issue is on her end, but I forgot. Haley doesn't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but Jacob obviously doesn't give a fuck. Like, let's just be clear. So, yeah, so their housewarming, it was nice though. Like, it was a nice little housewarming for them too. Like, it wasn't any drama or anything. So, I'm just gonna still stick to them on decision day, a solid no. It's still a no, because Haley is just, she don't want him. She's not attracted to him. She doesn't want him. She thinks he's completely different than what she is, and she's not bending either. Like, she's not even giving it a chance. At least Jacob is trying. So nevertheless, it's a solid no for me for Haley and Jacob. Next, hang on, guys. I gotta write this down. Oh yeah, because it's gonna get juicy towards the end. Okay. So next up, Brianna and Vincent. Of course, last episode we seen Brianna and Vincent kind of getting into a little bit of a a little road hump. It wasn't really even Brianna, it was more so with Vincent. And basically he got mad and stormed out, and then when he came back, they had a discussion, and she was talking to him about the issue that he had, or the problem that he had. And so she was kind of letting him know that wasn't her intent or whatnot. So sorry guys, I'm spraying my makeup powders with my alcohol because it dried. But so basically so when their housewarming party started, Vincent, this is going to be Brianna's first time meeting Vincent's mom and his brother. So she doesn't really speak much English. You can tell she's learning. So and then her mom and her sister came, and it seemed like they were having a really good time, and they meshed well. They were playing games and stuff, and it seemed like it was pretty interesting. I think that Vinny's mom actually likes Brianna because just, you know, you could tell she's kind of down to earth or whatnot. So after that, that was a good housewarming party for them. But later on in the episode, Vincent had went to lunch with one of his close friends, and he was telling his close friend about his issue that he had with Brianna, with the whole comment on, "Oh, that's so Vinny of you." His friend started laughing in his face. I'm here for this because I love it when people have friends who aren't enablers. I like to see that people's friends hold them accountable. You don't condone their behavior. So his friend was listening to him and he was like, "Bro, I know you did not get mad at her because she said that's so many of you." And so that's when he was saying, "Well, you know, she was just in that moment, you know, I'm trying to impress her, and you know, I spilled it, and instead of her just trying to if that was me, I would have grabbed some paper towels and say, 'Here, let me help you with that.'" And he was like, "Bro, like, you can't say that because she's not you. She's a completely different person." And so he said, "I know how you are." And he was just telling him, you know, you get in your head too much. You overthink things. And I don't think you need to be getting mad over petty stuff like that. Like he said, honestly, she's a good girl. You don't need to let her go. And he listened. And I was really fooled. I liked his friend for that. Because most guys were like, "Man, nah, man. Like she tripping. She disrespectful." No. Honestly, I'm not going to say be mean about this. Vincent is very sensitive. And I'm a sensitive person, so I can say that. I'm very sensitive, but I'm not that sensitive to that extreme. And if I do get sensitive to that extreme, I'm aware of it. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like you're the problem. I'm going to say, "I'm just in my feelings right now." You know, I'll make it known that my feelings are hurt for no reason because I'm just in my feelings. So, and ladies got to understand this. People be wanting a romantic type of man, and the type of person that Vincent is, he is so romantic and he wears his emotions on his sleeve, in which I've said that in my other video. He wears his emotion on his sleeve so much that he feels like people try to take advantage of that. And when you wear your emotions on your sleeve like that, you tend to be more sensitive than a person who does not really carry their emotions out there. So ladies, next time when you want a romantic, hands-on, loving, caring type of man, and not saying that the rough guys can't be loving and caring, but the level that Vincent is on, he's the type, he'll do freaking rose petals. He will go all out for anniversaries, birthdays, and you know, just appreciation shit for you. So just be mindful of that. And everybody might say, "Well, not all guys." Most of the time, a man who's like that, they are sensitive, they're emotional, and all that other shit. So nevertheless, I'm just gonna keep them on decision day, Brianna and Vincent, as a solid yes. I feel like that little tiff that they had just is normal. They're gonna have arguments, they're gonna have disagreements. That's just on that. So of course I'm just gonna let them be a yes. Next couple, Ryan and Clara. I'm noticing, and Brianna even said it in this episode, Clara is really in the role of a wife. Like, she's really trying to make this work with Ryan. And, you know, of course, Ryan and Clara, and like I said, people have told me that they feel like Ryan isn't really feeling Clara, and I really don't think that's the case. I think it is more so of he just is trying to fill it out because, like you said, this guy has never been in love before. So he's trying to play his cards right and make sure this is the person who he wants to give himself to. And I get it. You signed up for a process. And honestly, the way Ryan is going about it, it's kind of not a good thing because you only have a couple weeks to make decisions on if you're going to stay married to this person or not. So it's kind of like a fast-paced thing. Like, it's kind of like, okay, can he do this for me? Can he do that? Like, you're trying to do slow and steady wins the race, and it doesn't work. But then again, we can't say it doesn't work because look at Karen and Miles from season 11. She took that thing slower than a turtle, and they still married. And now if you look at Karen now versus when she was on the show, you could tell she is just in awe with Miles. Like, Miles is her boo. That is her, that is her whatever. You know how that goes. Like, she is really feeling him. Like, I really feel like she loves Miles at this point. Who knows? But just the way she even looks at him, if you're going on their social media or on their YouTube, the way she looks at him, it's kind of like she's mesmerized. So, which that built up to it because she felt comfortable enough to let that guard down and go full force. Was it the right thing for Karen to do? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But maybe she might feel that was what she had to do because she knows how she is when it comes to loving someone emotionally. And so Ryan's never been in love, so he automatically has a guard up. And he doesn't know how he's gonna react when he does fall in love. So it's kind of like that's his safety net, even though it's not a good thing, but that's the only way that he knows how. So, and of course, Clara is very sexually frustrated. And girl, I feel for you because Ryan sure isn't cracking that back. And she's even talking about, she told his friends or whatever that, oh, Ryan, I have not seen Ryan's shirt off. Ryan, if you don't give your wife something, at least let her give you some top or something. Let her give you some top or something because she going through it over there. But maybe this is a good thing for Clara because she did say she's used to, like Ryan said, she goes into a situation full throttle. She trusts you until you give her a reason not to trust you, which isn't always the best thing either because it's kind of like, okay, that means you don't have no boundaries. You don't have no pacing steps. And so that means you're just giving out the butt. And, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So maybe that works out in her favor to keep her from adding on to her body count. Who knows? But I feel like this, Ryan, if she's just that sexually frustrated, just, let her give you some sloppy toppy or something. But for decision day, for those two, I'm going to give them a solid yes, but I'm going to still put a question mark because I don't know where Ryan's head is. I think he's falling for Clara, but he's not showing it in front of the cameras. I think he's more behind the scenes with it, but we're going to see. So, like I said, both of them, solid yes. Moving on to the next couple. Chris and Paige. So they've been ducked off this whole episode, but it's because, we know they're ducked off because, of course, Chris told Paige that he wants a divorce. And so, basically they're kind of off the show at this point. Chris told Paige that he wanted to have a meeting with her, his ex-fiance, and him. Which in my head, I was thinking in my head, like, what is it to talk about, Chris? Y'all getting a divorce. Like, it ain't like y'all staying together or whatever. So Paige was saying, she didn't say it in those words, but she kind of was thinking the same thing I was thinking. Like, well, I got to pray on that because I don't know. Like, it's kind of like, she didn't say it. I would have damn said it. What are we meeting for? We're getting divorced. So it doesn't even matter what we have a conversation with. So I guess she decided to go ahead and go. And so, of course, he popped up with his ex-fiance, which is the one I seen on social media. Y'all found her social media handle, y'all. And because at first they were saying, it was some rumors going around. I heard through other YouTubers, but I didn't want to put it out there because I didn't know. But basically, they just literally, and I liked it how those two handled the conversation, because the first thing she said was, first, I don't have any ill will or issues towards you, which kind of made me jerk back a little bit because it's like, bitch, you don't even know me. That's the first thing I would have thought in my head. But in that moment, I would have probably been like, oh, well, I don't have any issues with you. We don't know each other to have an issue. We didn't do it. I didn't do anything to you. You didn't do anything to me. And so they basically had a mature conversation about everything that went down, how she didn't even know he got married. She had just found out. She said, well, I just found out that you was pregnant. And then she said, and Paige made a very good, solid point. She said the fact that he told me, of course, you guys are trying to work things out. And the fact of the matter is we've had sex multiple times unprotected. And the fact that he didn't know if I was pregnant in my situation. And the fact you was going to up and leave me to go be with your ex-fiance and your family. But what about me? And so the ex-fiance didn't even know that. I don't think she knew they was having like sex, like unprotected. So she said, I knew there was intimacy going on, but I didn't know that much level of intimacy. So I think he lied and told her that they just kissed on the wedding day and all that. But she didn't, I don't think he told her that they had sex. which is what a typical F-boy does. And so basically she got upset. I mean, like, well, Mercedes, she kept laughing, but I didn't take it as her laughing thinking that it was all a joke. I think she was laughing because of she was pissed and she really wanted to slap the shit out of Chris. And personally, she was better than me. She has a lot of restraint because I couldn't have even sat on the same couch as Chris because it's just, I can feel your lies crawling from underneath the seat, touching me. But so yeah, so she basically was talking to her about that, and then so that's when Mercedes came out and said, well, just to let you know, to let so we both on the same page, I am not having any intentions of getting back with Chris anytime soon. Like, we have not discussed any of that. I don't know where that came from, but we're not getting back together. He was upset. He was pissed. He was mad. Chris was over there getting antsy, feeling away. Don't nobody give a damn, Chris, because apparently you don't care about no one's feelings. You're a selfish grown boy. And so after that, you know, Paige basically came out and said, this relationship no longer serves me. I came into this marriage with pure intentions, and some people didn't. So Chris got into his little bitch mood and was like, well, I came into, well, if you got something to say, you can talk to me. Paige is better than me, because I would have said, bitch, who are you talking to? Sit your queen ass over there. The fuck? Anyways, but so she was just saying, I came into this with the pure intentions of wanting to be married. He said, I did as well. I came in as well. And it was funny because Mercedes kind of looked like, but we was just together 7 weeks ago. So you came in this trying to get married to somebody else. I seen it all on her face and what she was thinking. So he basically trying to say that Paige was being disrespectful, and then he tried to start cutting her off and saying he's ready to go eat and all that. And so Mercedes kind of was checking him. She was like, don't be rude. Like, don't be rude. Don't do that. That's not cute. And he was like, well, she's being disrespectful. Like, no, she's not being disrespectful. She hasn't said anything disrespectful this whole time we've been sitting here. So he just, in his feelings, feeling away, and started saying something. He was just aggravated. And so, so after that, that was the end. So Paige basically made it seem like, basically said the relationship no longer serves her, so she's not going to be dealing with Chris anymore. And so now Chris is in his feelings and upset. And I wanted to touch on another thing before I close that out, which we already know the decision for decision day with these two is a no, because Paige basically went ahead and said, we're going to continue to bow out of this marriage, which is perfectly fine. When Chris had a conversation with his pastor before he had this conversation with Mercedes and Paige, he told his pastor everything that was going on. And what I liked about that pastor, he made him, like, he held him accountable for what he was doing. He felt like that was selfish. He felt like it was immature. He felt like it wasn't fair. And he kind of told him, you know, that's not right. Like, this is your wife. Like, you didn't take an oath in front of me. You took an oath in front of God. And for you to just be that quick to just leave out of this relationship, like, that child is going to be your child regardless. But I don't think that's a good enough excuse for you to bow out. Like, and the pastor was kind of like saying she was a good girl for him. And Chris got mad and was like, no disrespect, but I'm done with the conversation. So you got him. Chris is his ass beat. I'm sorry. But the fact that you thought your pastor was going to agree with your shenanigans just says a lot about your character. Like, you want to be in control of the situation at all costs. And it don't work like that, boo. And I'm just glad somebody, because his family ain't shit, because his dad didn't help, his trifling ass daddy didn't hold him accountable like how I felt he should. His mama, apparently she's a mama's boy. He's a mama's boy, because she defends him in what he does. So I'm just glad he's getting held accountable to some degree. But like I said, at the end of that, on that note, decision day for them, of course, is a no. It's obvious. And that is it, you guys. This has been a crazy season, and we're only literally in 8 episodes. So who knows what we're gonna see in the coming weeks of this show, but only time will tell. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel today. Let me know what you think about this review. Comment, like, and subscribe, and just let me know if you want to see other videos or other content. just let me know and I'll look into it. So thank you guys. I'm Imani D signing out.